They say that wealth begins in the mind, long before it shows up in your bank account. Let that settle in, because that statement is not just philosophical fluff. It's a fundamental truth. The wealth you're seeking, the abundance you dream of, the financial freedom you crave, it all starts with how you think. Right now, your life is a reflection of your most dominant thoughts. If you see limitation, lack, and struggle, chances are that's what your mind has been focused on. But if you begin to rewire your mental patterns, if you begin to train your mind to think abundance, to expect opportunity, to believe in wealth as your natural state, you begin to attract it step by step, action by action, thought by thought. So the question becomes, how do you train your mind to attract unlimited wealth? The first key is simple, but it's everything. Change your internal blueprint. Your mind holds a script about money. That script was written by your past, by your parents, your environment, your struggles, and your stories. If your mind believes money is evil or hard to get or only for the lucky few, you will subconsciously push it away. Even if you say you want it, you have to rewrite that story. You must begin to see wealth not as something that's outside of you, but something that already exists within. Think about it. Every successful person you admire once stood where you are. They weren't born with a secret code. They built the code. They built it by thinking differently. They believed that money was a tool, not a curse. That money magnifies who you are, not corrupts it. That earning wealth ethically is not just possible, it's essential to make a positive impact. This is where affirmations, visualization, and self-talk come into play. You cannot attract what you don't believe you deserve. And so daily you must remind yourself, I am worthy of wealth. I am capable of success. I attract opportunities aligned with my purpose. This isn't wishful thinking. This is shifting your mind from lack to overflow. The second key is act like the person who already has the wealth you seek. Not in arrogance, not in pretense, but in energy. Wealthy people think long-term. They make strategic decisions. They surround themselves with people who challenge and elevate them. They don't wait for the perfect time. They make the time count. You must begin to make decisions from the identity of someone who is already abundant. Ask yourself in each moment, would the wealthier version of me do this? Would they procrastinate? Would they stay in the same circles? Would they say yes to fear and no to growth? There is a powerful concept in psychology called identity-based change. It means that true transformation doesn't come from setting goals. It comes from becoming the kind of person who achieves those goals naturally. If you see yourself as broke, you will act like someone who is broke. If you see yourself as resourceful, empowered, and on a mission to build something impactful, you will begin to attract resources, relationships, and decisions that match that energy. And don't think for a second that wealthy people don't feel fear. They do, but they act anyway. They make moves while feeling uncertain. They invest in themselves even when the returns are not guaranteed. Because wealth is not about comfort, it's about courage. And that brings us to the third key. Wealth is a byproduct of value. So become a person of increasing value. You want to attract unlimited wealth? Then your mind must be obsessed not with chasing money, but with creating value. Money is simply energy, an exchange of perceived worth. If you want more money, become more valuable. This could mean mastering a skill, building a business, mentoring others, or solving a problem that people are desperate to have solved. The wealthiest people on the planet became that way not by accident, but by solving problems at scale. Elon Musk didn't just want money. He wanted to revolutionize transportation. Oprah Winfrey didn't just want fame. She wanted to give people a voice. Steve Jobs didn't just want profit. He wanted to marry technology and art. So the question is, what problem are you solving? What gift do you need to sharpen? What are you willing to become so good at that the world can't ignore you? Training your mind to attract wealth means shifting your focus from, how do I get more, to how do I give more, in a way that aligns with my purpose. This is not easy. It requires unlearning, it requires resilience, and it requires patience. but the harvest always matches the seed. And if you are planting thoughts of wealth, actions of value, and an identity of abundance, your harvest will be more than enough. You will begin to notice opportunities that were always there but hidden from your old mindset. You will start to attract people who are building, not breaking. You will experience synchronicities that feel like luck, but they're not. They're alignment. Your inner world is finally matching your outer reality. And when setbacks come, and they will, you'll have the mental armor to stay calm, to pivot, to persist, because your mind has been trained for abundance, not lack. You'll stop panicking over scarcity and start preparing for overflow. You'll stop envying others and start celebrating their success, knowing it's a signal that wealth is possible for you too. Let's be clear. This isn't about greed. This isn't about hoarding money. This is about freedom. Freedom to give, freedom to create, freedom to rise. When good people become wealthy, they change the world. They build schools, they fund ideas, they lift others. And that starts right now. Not when you get the promotion, not when your business takes off, not when someone discovers you. It starts now, with how you think, with how you talk to yourself, with what you do when no one is watching. So, here's your call to action. Audit your beliefs about money. Rewire what no longer serves you. Start acting like the version of you who already has the abundance you desire. Let that identity guide your actions. Focus on value. Become so good, so aligned, so authentic in your purpose that wealth flows to you as a natural result. Because at the end of the day, wealth is not just about numbers, it's about mindset. And when you train your mind to expect abundance, to create value, and to walk boldly in your worth, you will attract wealth. Not just once, but over and over again. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the stars to align. You are the author of your reality. You are the key to your wealth. Start thinking like it, start acting like it, and you'll start living like it. Now let's delve deeper into the essence of wealth. Wealth is not merely the accumulation of money. It is the manifestation of value, purpose, and impact. It is the tangible result of aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with the principles of abundance. Imagine a river flowing effortlessly, nourishing everything in its path. This river represents the flow of wealth, continuous, generous, and life-giving. To tap into this river, you must remove the dams of doubt, fear, and limiting beliefs that obstruct its course. But how do we remove these dams? It begins with awareness. Recognize the thoughts that no longer serve you. Challenge the narratives that tell you wealth is unattainable or reserved for others. Replace them with empowering beliefs that affirm your worthiness and capability. Consider the story of a young entrepreneur who started with nothing but an idea and a burning desire to succeed. Despite numerous setbacks, he persisted, fueled by a mindset that refused to accept failure as final. He visualized success, took calculated risks, and remained steadfast in his belief that wealth was within reach. Today, he not only enjoys financial abundance, but also mentors others on their journey to prosperity. This transformation is not exclusive to entrepreneurs. It is accessible to all of us. By cultivating a mindset of abundance, we open ourselves to opportunities that were previously invisible. We begin to see challenges as stepping stones rather than obstacles. We attract people, resources, and circumstances that align with our vision. Moreover, embracing gratitude amplifies our capacity to attract wealth. When we appreciate what we have, we signal to the universe that we are ready for more. Gratitude shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance, creating a fertile ground for prosperity to flourish. Let's not forget the importance of giving. Wealth is not a zero-sum game. It multiplies when shared. By contributing to others' success, we create a ripple effect that returns to us manifold. Generosity reinforces our belief in abundance and strengthens our connection to the flow of wealth. As we continue on this journey, remember that attracting wealth is not a destination but a continuous process. It requires vigilance, adaptability, and a commitment to personal growth. There will be moments of doubt, but each challenge is an opportunity to reaffirm your dedication to abundance. In conclusion, training your mind to attract unlimited wealth involves aligning your thoughts with abundance, embracing gratitude, and contributing to others' success. By committing to this path, you empower yourself to create a life of prosperity, purpose, and impact. So, take a deep breath, center yourself, and step forward with the assurance that you have the tools and the strength to attract unlimited wealth. We've talked about aligning your thoughts with abundance, embracing gratitude, and giving generously. But what does this really mean day to day? How do you take this grand vision of wealth and anchor it into your reality? Your habits, your choices, your mindset. Let's begin by understanding the true nature of wealth. So often people see wealth as just money, numbers on a bank statement, digits on a screen, but wealth is so much more than that. True wealth is a state of mind. It's the deep-rooted belief that you are capable, worthy, and deserving of a life filled with abundance. It's the courage to envision possibilities when everyone else sees walls. Take a moment to imagine wealth as a seed. This seed has the potential to grow into a mighty tree that provides shade, fruit, and shelter. But the seed needs fertile soil, water, and sunlight to grow. The soil is your environment, the people you surround yourself with, the books you read, the information you consume. The water is your daily habits, small, consistent actions that nurture your growth. And the sunlight is your mindset, the positive energy and unwavering belief that fuels you every day. When you train your mind to attract unlimited wealth, you are consciously tending to this seed. You are creating the perfect conditions for it to flourish. Now, here's the truth. This process demands patience. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results. But just like a seed doesn't sprout overnight, your wealth won't either. What matters is the consistency and faith you maintain while waiting for the breakthrough. There's a story I want to share about a man named Carlos. Carlos came from a humble background, working odd jobs just to make ends meet. He dreamed of financial freedom but struggled with limiting beliefs, always thinking, who am I to deserve wealth? It's for other people, not me. One day, Carlos decided to change his thinking. He started reading books about success and wealth creation, titles like Think and Grow Rich and The Science of Getting Rich. Every morning before work, he spent 15 minutes visualizing his future, imagining the freedom and opportunities wealth would bring. He replaced his negative thoughts with positive affirmations. I am worthy. Wealth flows to me effortlessly. At first, nothing seemed to change. His bank account was still nearly empty and his job was still demanding. But Carlos kept going. He practiced gratitude every night, listing 3 things he was thankful for, no matter how small. Slowly, he noticed a shift. Opportunities he never expected began to appear. A better-paying job, connections with mentors, and the courage to start a side business. Years later, Carlos transformed his life completely. He didn't just attract wealth. He became a beacon of inspiration to others. Carlos' story highlights the power of mind training, the process of intentionally reshaping your thoughts and beliefs to open the door for wealth. This is your first key point. Your mind is the gateway to wealth, and by training it with focused intention, you align yourself with the abundance that already exists in the universe. But how do you begin this training? What tools do you use? Start with your internal dialogue. What do you tell yourself when you look in the mirror? When you face a financial challenge, the words you speak inside your mind have tremendous power. Research in psychology shows that our brains are wired to believe what we repeatedly say to ourselves. This is called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt based on experience. So when you say, I can't do this, or money is hard to come by, your brain builds pathways that support these limiting beliefs. Conversely, when you say, I am attracting wealth every day, or opportunities for abundance are all around me, your brain reinforces these positive pathways. The simple act of changing your self-talk can revolutionize your financial reality. It's also important to immerse yourself in environments that reinforce abundance thinking. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, who talk about possibilities rather than problems. Seek mentors, attend seminars, listen to podcasts by those who have mastered wealth mindset. The energy you absorb shapes your beliefs far more than you realize. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you consciously chose What influences you allowed into your mind? Was it a motivational book or a toxic conversation? A podcast on wealth creation or endless scrolling through negative news? Your environment either nurtures your wealth mindset or sabotages it. Now, beyond mindset, the second key to attracting unlimited wealth is mastering the habits that build your financial foundation. It's one thing to think positively, but it's another to take consistent action. Habits are the invisible architecture of our lives. They shape our results, often more than we recognize. Picture a man who dreams of running a marathon but never trains. His dream remains a wish. Similarly, wishing for wealth without the habits of saving, investing, learning, and networking leaves your goals unfulfilled. Start small. Build daily habits that support your financial growth. Set aside a portion of your income, no matter how small, to save or invest. Track your spending. Educate yourself about money management and investments. Make a habit of reaching out to new people in your industry or field. Develop a learning routine. Read one page of a book on wealth every day, or listen to a financial podcast during your commute. These habits compound over time, creating momentum. Let's reflect on a woman named Sarah. Sarah had always lived paycheck to paycheck, feeling stuck in her job. But one day she committed to change. She started by saving just $50, 0 cents a day, setting up automatic transfers to a savings account. She dedicated 10 minutes each morning to reading about financial literacy. She began networking with like-minded professionals, asking questions and seeking advice. After a year, Sarah's savings had grown. Her knowledge expanded and her confidence soared. She discovered a side business opportunity and invested time and money into it. 5 years later, Sarah runs a thriving business, owns a home, and enjoys financial freedom she once thought impossible. Sarah's success was not sudden luck. It was the result of small, consistent habits rooted in discipline and commitment. Remember, habits are the daily reflections of your mindset. You can't wish for wealth and continue with old habits that keep you financially stuck. Training your mind to attract unlimited wealth means training your habits to align with that vision. Lastly, the third key point is about emotional resilience, the ability to stay steady, optimistic, and proactive in the face of setbacks and uncertainty. Wealth building is not a straight line. It is filled with twists, turns, challenges, and moments of doubt. You will face failures, rejections, and disappointments. You will have days when your motivation wanes and the temptation to quit whispers loudly. This is where many people give up. But here is what separates those who attract unlimited wealth from those who don't: the ability to persist and bounce back. Consider the metaphor of a tree in a storm. The strong winds bend its branches, but the tree's roots hold firm. Over time, the storm passes and the tree stands taller and stronger because it endured. Your emotional resilience is your roots. How do you cultivate resilience? One way is by reframing failure. Instead of seeing it as a dead end, view it as feedback, valuable information about what doesn't work. Use it to adjust your course rather than abandon your journey. Remember Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work," before inventing the light bulb. His resilience illuminated the world. Another way is to develop a support system. People who encourage you, hold you accountable, and remind you of your worth when you feel low. Never underestimate the power of community in sustaining your emotional strength. You also build resilience by celebrating small wins. Each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Acknowledge it, reward yourself, and let it fuel your momentum. When you combine a wealth mindset, disciplined habits, and emotional resilience, you create an unstoppable force. You train your mind not only to attract wealth, but to keep wealth. Now, I want you to ask yourself, what is holding you back? What limiting belief, habit, or emotional hurdle do you need to confront today? What one action can you commit to right now that will move you closer to unlimited wealth? Maybe it's starting a gratitude journal tonight. Maybe it's reaching out to a mentor tomorrow. Maybe it's setting up a budget or saving your first $10, 0 cents. No matter where you are in your journey, remember this: wealth is not a destination reserved for a select few. It is your birthright. It is available to anyone willing to train their mind, take consistent action, and build resilience. You have the power to shape your financial future. You have the power to attract unlimited wealth. The question is, will you claim it? Take that step, train your mind, cultivate your habits, strengthen your roots. Because when you do, everything else will fall into